there! Welcome to FemFusion Fitness, your home for core and pelvic floor friendly fitness and yoga. One of my very favorite things about my job and being on YouTube is connecting with viewers. So I had a viewer write to me with a question and I thought, well, I'm going to make a video about this. The question was if I had a daily routine that she could use for her incontinence issues. So she was kind of wanting to do some Kegel exercises. She felt those were good for her, and she was having a hard time piecing ideas together from various videos that I've done and various things she's seen online. So I'm going to give that to you today. This is great for anyone who has mild to moderate bladder control issues, stress incontinence where you leak when you cough or sneeze or laugh, that kind of thing. And also good for people who have pelvic organ prolapse. But I do recommend, if you have pelvic organ prolapse, that you go through my Lift series, which I will link in the video notes or video description below this video, and also in the little information button that'll be at the top of the screen. Now, if you are not sure if you're doing Kegels correctly, or if you are feeling like maybe they're not right for you, I'm going to give some troubleshooting tips and pointers at the end of this video. So please either watch to the end or skip ahead, but I want to get right into the daily routine. What you're going to want to do is find a position where you are comfortable, of course, but it really depends on your level of Kegel comfort. So if you are new to Kegels, if you're a beginner, or if you have a more significant bladder control issues or prolapse issues, you might actually want to start out lying down on your back. So lying on your back with your knees bent up, just a nice comfortable position. And that is taking gravity out of the picture. So gravity is not pulling down on your pelvic organs and making your pelvic floor muscles have to work harder for the squeeze and lift and then the release. Now, if you are a little bit more advanced and want to challenge yourself, then you can move to a more upright position, for example, seated in a chair or standing nice and tall. Just make sure that your posture is good and you're not slouched or slumping, because that's really going to make things a lot harder on your back, for one thing, but also on your pelvic floor. So let's go ahead and get right into a daily routine. Find your position, whether it's lying down with your knees bent up, lying on your back, or seated or standing. The first exercise we're going to do is we're going to work on our pelvic floor muscle endurance. So let's do 5 slow hold Kegels. So what you're going to do is squeeze and lift your pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that surround the vaginal area. You'll even feel this a little bit in the muscles that surround the anal area. Feel a gentle squeeze and a lift like you're drawing a marble into your body, or like it's an elevator going up 2 or 3 or 4 floors toward your head. It's kind of going up, 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 in and up. So think in and up with those pelvic floor muscles, nice and slow. Try not to feel your belly muscles contract too much or your butt muscles contract too much. It's the inside pelvic floor muscles. Now hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then fully and completely release. So it's a full release and relax. Now, if you need to stop this video and use the toilet because maybe the release makes you feel like you have to pee a little bit, then go stop the video right now and go to the bathroom. Totally normal to feel that way when you release fully, and I want you to release fully. So we're gonna hold the next 4 for a count of 7, okay? That's about how long we held the first one, but I was talking the whole time. So let's go ahead and do it again. So after that full relax, you squeeze and lift your pelvic floor muscles, go up, 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 and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now fully relax and release the pelvic floor muscles. So again, this is all happening deep inside your body. You can't see it from the outside like you can see a biceps contraction. It's inside, so it's a little bit hard to know if you're doing it right, but again, check out the troubleshooting tips at the end if you're just not sure. So our third rep, squeeze and lift the pelvic floor muscles, lift, 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 and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now fully and completely release and let go. Really let go. Shake it out. Make sure you're totally relaxed and released. And let's do it again. Squeeze and lift those pelvic floor muscles and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then fully and completely release, relax, and let go. Take a deep belly breath. Last one. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor muscles. Draw them in and up toward your head and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now fully and completely release, relax, and let go. Okay. So those endurance Kegels, you can work your way up. If you are doing these exercises on your own and want to work your way up to 10 or even 15-second holds, you can do that. Just be sure not to overdo it. And again, we'll talk about that in the troubleshooting tips at the end. So relax completely. Take a few deep belly breaths, nice expansive belly breaths. Go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in. Let your belly expand, your pelvic floor relax, and then breathe out. You can gently feel your belly pull in just a little bit. It's not a contraction. Now inhale, expand the belly, expand the lower ribs. Everything expands all around like a big balloon. And exhale, gently pull the belly in. One more deep breath, expansive breath. Inhale, lower ribs expand. You're breathing into your low back, your back ribs, your low belly, your pelvic floor. And then exhale, gently pull the belly in as all the air comes out. All right, so make sure that you're very released and relaxed. And we're gonna now do quick Kegels. We're gonna do 7 of them, okay? 7 is the magic number today. So this is just a squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Ready? Let's go. So squeeze and lift, release. Squeeze and lift, full release. Squeeze and lift, full release. 4 more. Squeeze and lift, full release. 3 more. Squeeze and lift, full release. 2 more. Squeeze and lift, full release. Last one. Squeeze and lift, full release. All right, release the pelvic floor completely, because maybe with those quick Kegels, it can be hard. Sometimes the release is a little slower to take effect than the contract. So you may feel some lingering kind of residual tension in your pelvic floor. I want you to take a moment just to fully release and let go. All right, what I want to do next, as you're taking some deep belly and rib breaths, expansive breaths, I'm going to explain the next exercise, which is a combo Kegel. So this is really great for working on coordination and just awareness of the pelvic floor muscles. That's key it's really why we do Kegels. It's not to do the Kegel exercise just for fun. The Kegel exercise is meant to get you in tune and in touch with your pelvic floor, to improve endurance and coordination and control so that you can really efficiently and effectively turn them on extra when you really need them. For example, when you really have to pee but there's not a bathroom nearby, or when you're jumping on a trampoline with your kids, okay? So this next exercise, again, is great for coordination and control. It's a combo Kegel. You can try it with me as I'm talking, or you can wait and listen to the instructions and then try it. So what we're gonna do is squeeze and lift and hold it for 7 seconds. Then you are going to release the contraction just a tiny bit and then do 3 quick squeezes. 1, release, 1, release, 1, release, all the way. So I hope that made sense. If you tried it, great. Keep doing it now with me. If you didn't try it, then do it now with me. We'll do it all together. So we're just gonna do 3 of these. They're a little bit more challenging. So again, it's a full Kegel. So a squeeze and lift of the pelvic floor and hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release part way and then squeeze and lift, release, squeeze and lift, release, squeeze and lift, release all the way. Okay? All right, like I said, we're just doing 3 full reps of those, so we only have 2 more. We're almost done. Okay, completely be sure you're relaxed and released, and let's do it again. So squeeze and lift the pelvic floor muscles, hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release part way and then squeeze and lift again, release, squeeze and lift again, release, squeeze and lift again, release all the way. Totally relax and let go. Take a deep breath and let's just do 1 more. of the combo Kegels. So squeeze and lift your pelvic floor muscles in and up. Hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release part way, then squeeze and lift again. Release. Squeeze and lift, release. Squeeze and lift, full and complete release. Take a big, deep, expansive belly and low back and low rib breath. Everything expands all the way around. And then exhale. Squeeze all that air out. The final Kegel exercise I want you to do is just 3 rounds of what I call pelvic floor resistance training. It's like weight training for your pelvic floor because you're providing downward pressure that your pelvic floor muscles have to resist against and hold against. So what you're gonna do is do your Kegel and then add a cough, and then you're going to fully relax and release after the cough is done. So let's go. You're going to make sure your pelvic floor is relaxed, then squeeze and lift, do your Kegel, hold it, do a little cough, and then fully relax and release. 2 more times. Squeeze and lift your pelvic floor, hold it nice and strong. We're gonna add some downward pressure, do a little cough, and then fully relax and release. Last time. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor muscles, pull them in and up, hold it, do your little cough, and then fully relax and release. Now that's obviously a very functional exercise. It's something you can apply anytime you feel a big cough or a sneeze coming on, or you know you're gonna go blow your nose. That's a great thing that you can do that you may not necessarily think about doing. You may just cough or sneeze or blow your nose. And now that you have these tools, you can more quickly and effectively activate the pelvic floor muscles to protect yourself as you do that functional thing that we all do, sometimes multiple times a day. Okay, the last exercise I'm going to share with you is one that may require some floor space. If you are sitting or standing, you're going to need to find some space on the floor to do the butterfly bridge. This is a favorite exercise of mine. It's wonderful for your pelvic floor muscles, your inner thigh muscles, which help feed into the pelvic floor, your glutes, your back. It's just a great stretch for your hip flexors. It's wonderful all around. So butterfly bridge, I'm going to picture it from another video that I've done in the past, and then I'm going to also explain it. Begin lying down on your back with your knees bent up. And you are going to flop your knees apart. So your feet are together and your knees are flopped apart. Then you are going to, on the exhale, lift your bum off the ground and bring your knees together. Your feet stay together, but they're gonna actually come onto the floor, onto the flat feet. Knees flop apart. Exhale, knees come together, feet come onto flat on the ground, and you're lifting your bum off the floor. So keep going with this butterfly bridge. Again, you want to keep exhaling as you lift your bum off the floor. And then you can feel a gentle inhale as your knees flop apart. Again, exhaling as you squeeze and lift your bum off the floor and rotate the legs so that the knees are coming close together. This is wonderful, again, for your hip rotators and for your inner thigh muscles. All of these muscles feed into the pelvic floor, and it's also a very safe exercise for those of you who do have prolapse. Troubleshooting tips. If you felt like you just weren't sure if you were doing a Kegel correctly, don't worry, you're not alone. It's actually fairly common for people to think they're doing them right or to do Kegels, but not really be sure if they're doing them right. And oftentimes, upon examination, the physical therapist or gynecologist or practitioner who is examining them will find that in fact they were not doing them right. So you're not alone if you are in this camp. What you want to feel is a squeeze and lift of the pelvic floor when you contract, and then a full release of the pelvic floor muscles when you relax. Now again, I said it at the beginning, but I'll just explain again. The pelvic floor muscles is a group of muscles that sits at the base of the pelvis, and they surround the urethra, which is the pee hole, the pee tube. They surround the vagina, and they surround the anus. And so when you are contracting these muscles, you're going to feel kind of a squeeze and lift around, particularly the vaginal area and the anal area. But you shouldn't feel that you're clenching your bottom or that you're really sucking in your tummy. Now, you may feel a tiny, tiny gentle activation of the abs, or even a tiny, tiny gentle activation of the bum, but those are not the primary movers in an isolated Kegel contraction, of which the purpose is to improve coordination, control, and endurance of the pelvic floor muscles. You are really just focusing on the pelvic floor, so you're trying to kind of separate those muscles out just a little bit. They're really closely connected with the rest of the core, so the abs, the back, the butt, the hips, all of that. But again, you can't isolate them. So that's why we do Kegels, is to isolate the pelvic floor muscles. So be sure when you're doing the pelvic floor contractions, the Kegel contractions, that you're feeling a squeeze and lift of the pelvic floor and then a full release. And you're not feeling that your tummy is bulging out when you're doing them, that you're maybe bearing down or pushing down when you're doing them, or that, again, you're using substitute muscles like your butt or something else when you're doing them. You also, if you're lying on your back, don't want to feel that your bum and your hips are lifting off the floor when you do them. That's actually fairly common. I used to see that a lot when I was working with people in the clinic, and I also have seen it in various fitness classes I've taught. We do a Kegel or two at the end of class, and the person goes into a bridge pose where their whole bum and hips lift up off the floor. That's way too much. Really, nobody should even see that you're doing a Kegel contraction because the muscles are really deep in your pelvis, and they're not the big external prime mover muscles that will lift your whole, move entire body parts or lift your entire hips off the floor. That's really your glutes and your hamstrings working there. Now, if you do Kegels and you think you're doing them right, but you feel like they're actually aggravating your condition and making your problem worse, like if you feel that your bladder control issues are actually getting worse as you do your Kegels, or you're feeling like if you have prolapse, your prolapse is getting worse, if anything is happening that's aggravating your condition or making things worse, then you need to stop right now. It's likely that you, again, are either doing your Kegels incorrectly and you need to be evaluated by a women's health physical therapist or someone who can specifically test for what's going on. Or you may have issues with excessive pelvic floor tension where you're actually never fully releasing, and so your muscles just are getting tired. They're really, really tired, and so they can't work as well. It's just like a biceps contraction. You want to go through the full range of motion. You don't always want to be like this. You want to let go so that you can fully contract and really gain the strength and the appropriate range of motion, and the maximum strength benefits will occur because you're going through the full motion. So again, sometimes people overdo their Kegels. They may have read somewhere that you should do 100 Kegels each day, or do them every time you do something. Sometimes every time you're at a stoplight or whatever. But sometimes people can take it to the extreme and do far more than I would recommend, and it can cause muscular tension. It can cause what's sometimes referred to as a headache in the pelvis, where your muscles are very, very tense. Just like muscle tension up here can cause head pain, muscle tension down there can cause sometimes pain, and also things to just not work as well. When your muscles get overly tense, they have a hard time letting go. They have a hard time supporting you in the effective manner. They can't work properly if they're always tense. So that can very, very easily make your condition feel like it's getting worse and not better. And so please stop your Kegels if this is in fact happening for you. I do have a playlist of videos that can be helpful for people with excessive pelvic pain or tension, a playlist of videos that can really help you learn how to get in touch with those pelvic floor muscles and relax and open them up. And that can be really helpful just to tune in to that area and go, oh yeah, I am tense. And wow, these exercises, these stretches actually feel really good and releasing. And then once you get the hang of knowing what a released pelvic floor feels like, you can then slowly incorporate your pelvic floor strengthening exercises once again. So for some series of videos that may be helpful for you and interesting for you, I have one called Lift, which is a pelvic organ support series. It's going to take you through 5 weeks of gradually progressive exercises that are great for bladder control issues, mild to moderate prolapse, or even if you're a new mom and your doctor has cleared you for exercise and you want to kind of get back into tuning into your core in a safe way, you'll enjoy the Lift series of exercises. And the next one is Ab Camp, which is pelvic floor and core friendly. It's a great way to strengthen the entire core. Of course, the pelvic floor is the base of the core. It's the floor of the core, if you will. So the Ab Camp is not just working the abs, it's actually working the entire core, and I think you'll love that as well. The other one that you might want to consider is Yoga for Beginners. It's a nice series that keeps in mind people who have pelvic floor issues, such as bladder leakage, and it really kind of takes the pelvic floor into consideration a little more than maybe traditional yoga videos might. It's not just for pelvic floor issues, but it does include some education and information about the pelvic floor and incorporating pelvic health safety into your yoga practice. So all of those are going to be linked in the video notes or video description below. And I hope this gives you a great idea of a place you can start for a daily Kegel routine. You don't need to do hundreds of Kegels each day. If you find that Kegels work for you, if you think they're helpful for your body and your needs, and you are seeing improvement when you do them, then this short and quick routine using the slow hold Kegels, the quick Kegels, the combo Kegels, the Kegels with a cough, and the butterfly bridge is a great way to just fit, a quick 10 minutes of exercise into your daily life, or even less than 10 minutes if you're doing it on your own. And you can see massive results over time. Just take it easy, take it slow, tune into your body, and definitely speak with a women's health physical therapist or other qualified healthcare practitioner if you have specific questions about your needs. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel for more information and tons more videos. And until next time, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter.